Yeah, it was outstanding from the first bounce really right to the end, and keeping goalless in the last quarter it was just outstanding. It was a really even team performance, and it was just fantastic to see us play the entire game like that, and against a quality opposition. So it was outstanding.
Was that one of the most pleasing aspects? That was such an all-round team performance. I think you had 8 multiple goal kickers today.
Yeah, whether it's sharing it around in our front half or the defenders really working as a tight unit, through the midfield, each doing their role, taking their turn. That was probably the standout feature, was just the evenness and the weight of numbers that we really you aim for every week. You don't necessarily get it every week. But we got it tonight, and just the evenness of the team was outstanding, and the ability for everyone to contribute when they needed to.
John, it was a remarkably dominant display as well as being an even one. What did you see as the key parts of the game that meant you were able to eventually run out 15-goal winners over another top 8 team?
There's a few reasons. I think because it was so even, that's the key to it. That everyone had a role to play, and there was a weight of numbers performance. So that's the real key to what happened, is that everyone contributed, and that's what we all aim for every week. And to get it today against a good team was outstanding. We're able to play all 3 lines the way we wanted to, and try and get the game in an offense and defense in those areas balanced, and make sure we're really good in the hunt, to see our pressure rating through the roof. Even though we had a lot of the footy, was outstanding. We had more tackles, pressure rating through the roof, yet we had a lot of the footy. And so that's a really good sign when you get the hunt and you put the pressure on the opposition, and that's always the foundation, and then everything flows from that. And that was the important thing, was we wanted to maintain that sort of pressure on the opposition as much as we could, and then build off that.
Did you have any idea in the lead up to the game, whether that's during the week or earlier on today, that the team was going to be switched on and hungry enough to sort of produce that sort of display?
No, it's always hard to try and work it out. I mean, I think we're pretty good for a fair bit of the game last week. With 5 minutes to go, we hit the front. So against quality opposition, we had another opportunity to play quality opposition again today, and we're able to put it together. So it's full credit to our leaders and experienced players to be able to keep driving the group.
John, you probably don't want to single out too many blokes, but just away from the normal sort of suspects, I know he's not new in himself, but Dawson was fantastic, and Bell was really good, and Goulden was good. But if you could, a little bit on Joel Amati. I mean, he just looked amazing today in his 5th game.
Yeah, look, he's very, very young and inexperienced, and has been working through his football and learning every week, and learning about himself, his footy. But that's been coming along. The bigger guys will take a little bit of time, and he's had some injury concerns. So to be able to play a key role for us today, and I think we just wanted to get the ball to deck, and he was an important part of that. And then as the game went on, he was able to really launch at it and back himself in the air, and he was able to be a real presence in our front half, and get the ball to ground it when he couldn't mark it, and that was a key role for us to be able to do that against a quality defence that have been playing together and have played a lot of footy together, a really experienced back 6 or 7. To be able to do that was good.
We'll probably talk a bit more about the pandemic stuff here, but this wouldn't be a bad home ground for you, would it?
Yeah, look, we don't mind coming here. We had to. You still got to get it done, but our players look forward to coming here and playing. And it was a pretty wet and windy sort of start to the game. You go out there, and it's really windy at the start, and you think not quite sure of the conditions, but our players were able to adapt really well, and really look forward to that contest, and they're able to really embrace it too. And part of what we're going through at the moment is, with so many people displaced, players and staff, is to make sure you embrace what goes with that, and be able to roll with it and jump each hurdle as it comes, and that's an important part as well. I'm
trying not to be flippant about it, but have you cracked the code of Kardinia Park? Because no one else has over the last couple of decades.
I'm not sure about that. We've had some good wins here, but there's, it's all built on the same stuff, no matter what ground you play at. It's all built on that hardness and fierceness and being able to work off there, and we've been able to get it right here a few times, which has been great. And we got it again today. And sometimes you play well, and the opposition for various reasons, whether they're players coming back or whatever. So you've got to make the most of it when you get the opportunity, and that's what we did.
You know what your movements are likely to be for the rest of the week, John? Like, is everyone presumably staying in Melbourne? Do you know when you're playing and how it'll all come about?
Oh, there was a report, or we were told on the way in from someone. It wasn't anyone internally that we were playing Saturday night, but I'm yet to hear an official word from anyone yet, so I'm not sure yet.
Okay, John, I just wanted to ask you about the club's situation at the moment and being in Melbourne, Sydney back in lockdown. Has that sort of, you mentioned before about being displaced, has that added a little bit of steel among the group to just get the job done? You sort of elaborate on that a bit?
Oh, well, we're not the only one displaced. There's a lot of clubs at the moment they're away from home and away from loved ones and family, and we're players and staff are no different to anyone else in that regard. And we feel for the people back home that are doing it pretty tough back in Sydney, and our best wishes go to them. And the good thing is that we've been able to. We've got a job to do, as a lot of people all the people in our game have got to do, and we're able to focus on that and not worry about the things you can't control. Focus on the things you can. Apply yourself at training sessions, meetings. Our players are pretty good at that and good at embracing it. And we're not sure how long we'll be out of home, but we can't really worry about that. We've just got to look at one step in front of the other and just focus on that.
Any more questions?
Any injuries or anything, John, to report?
I think generally okay. There's a few knocks, and we'll have to wait until see how tomorrow is, but I think generally okay.